Welcome to the Traveling Witch's house. This evening it rests by the sea. The lantern is alight. The waves crash below. Above, the beacon turns. Come in, the cards are waiting. You're not just choosing a pile, you're finding your way back to the shore. This reading is a soft light for those who need comfort, clarity, or simply a moment of calm. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Now, before you choose, let me tell you who is holding the light. I am the weaver of many threads, one part healer, one part wanderer, one part witness, and one part creator. I am a woman on a sacred quest, remembering her soul's shape and partaking in my small way in the elevation of the world. I carry the gift of seeing, and today I am your tarot reader. And now I ask you, who are you? Tell me in the comments if you wish, or simply show me by selecting the card that resonates with your heart. Power. I am the divine God force within, and all that comes to me is positiveness and power. It is my purpose and intent to flood the world with love and light. Guided. I am on the right path. I am guided by the divine spirit with me. When storms come, I will not be afraid. My inner light illuminates the way. Dance. I love life and it supports me in every possible way. My day begins and ends with gratitude and joy. I always find a reason to dance. Once you have selected your group, find the link in the description to begin your reading. This is a general reading, so only take what resonates. Now, when I was planning this reading, I was trying to create a spread to be used, as I often do with these readings of mine. And I was trying different combinations and nothing quite seemed to fit. And I was getting a little bit frustrated, but then I felt an urge to kind of step back and ask the cards, how do you want to be presented in this reading? And the cards responded that they want to be presented in a story. So this is the story of the cards. It all kind of started with this image of the lighthouse and the little girl who's searching for her own life to guide her. And the story begins when the girl is traveling to the lighthouse on a boat in a sea. And while she is in the sea, she is reaching her hand to the water and touching the water and feeling the cool salt water and seeing what kind of things there are around her. And this is what she sees. She sees a small island far in the horizon, and the message of the island is enough. May you be exactly as you are. This reminds us that often in our life we are so much hoping that we would be something else than what we are, but that's never the road to the happiness, and that can never truly satisfy us. We only find peace when we realize that we are enough, just as we are. The boat moves onward and she notices something else. She notices another boat. And this boat is a reminder for her about faith. Not just in any particular religion, but faith of all kinds. Your own spirituality, your own methods of doing things, your own believing, whatever is important for you, whatever is elevating your life and your religion. So she sees this other boat in the shore and realizes that divine hand is guiding it as well as it is guiding her. She sees this shore, and the shore reminds her of being persistent. The message of the card is, may your ripples build the swell. When you are reaching towards something that is important and meaningful for you, you must be persistent. There will be difficulties on your journey. There will be setbacks and periods where you don't see where you're going, but be persistent. Life will carry you through these periods. When she arrives to the seashore, she sees the seagrass bending in the sea wind. And this reminds her to pause. May the moments of calm sustain you. Take a moment to be still. Take a moment to pause, especially if you feel lost. The right way will present itself at the right time. Ooh. And as she approaches the lighthouse, it's far out to the sea, and the waves are getting bigger and the sea is getting more wild. And this is a reminder for you to express all that you are. No emotion is invalid, no emotion is inappropriate. Only the ways of how we express the emotions can be unsuitable for the situation, but the emotion in itself is always sacred. So she looks at the great waves far out to the sea, and she's reminded of her own wildness and how that is empowering. As she arrives to the seashore, the night is falling, and as the full moon rises, she is awakened in the sense of magic. May you flow with the divine, the magic teaches her. She realizes that she is not separate from the divine, but the divine spark is within her, always present, always available, as long as she pauses to realize it. As the nighttime and the magic come, that invites her to think deep thoughts, and we'll see what kind of things spring from her intuition and imagination. She realizes that sea is her inner sanctum, or a reflection of it. Inner sanctum, of course, her heart space, is always present. She realized that she is on her way to her own place of rest, her own place of rejuvenation, her own place of sanctuary, her own inner sanctum. She also realized that even if she was going to go to this isolated lighthouse, she was never truly alone. There were people who were caring and looking after her all the time. She just often overlooked that fact. It was so easy to feel that she's so alone and so weak and small in this world. But all the while, there were people who cared and looked after her. And just when she was in these thoughts, she saw something. She saw the big gleaming light of the lighthouse, first time in that night, shining from the top of the tower. And the light told her, determined, I will get through this challenge. I am patient and determined. I am confident that I can find a solution, and I will not give up. As she arrived to the lighthouse's shore, she looked around. It was an old lighthouse, a little bit roughed on the edge, weathered. The paint had cracked, and there were all kinds of things scattered around it. She looked around and she saw a key. Unlock answers. Challenges that obscure your path hold potential for real breakthroughs. Reveal insights. That is a divinatory message for you. Challenges that obscure your path. Challenges are not only to trip us and to slow us down, they are to teach us and guide us to make us better versions of ourselves. Since she now had the key from unlocking the answers, she approached the lighthouse and saw a door with a keyhole in it. Unknown path. Accept uncertainty and welcome unexpected adventures with courage. Uncharted journey. She had never been in this lighthouse before. This was a new place for her, an abandoned place, but with the key that she had gotten from her challenges, she placed it to the keyhole and turned. But the lighthouse wasn't quite as isolated as she thought it would be. There was a radiant burst of light. Celebrate success and find beauty in both grand and subtle experiences of life. Moment of A. You are welcome to the warmth and comfort of the lighthouse, to teach and learn, to rest and find your inner light. And with that, she felt that large light at the top of the lighthouse was shining again. And this time it was teaching. Wealth. Wealth flows to me easily and effortlessly from many sources, continually. Golden opportunities enrich every area of my life. I am aligned with the energy of abundance. So often in our travels, we are held back and hindered by lack of wealth. Perhaps it is wise to keep in mind the old saying that you can do and have many things in your life, but not necessary at the same time. If you truly want something and need something, there is a way to make it happen. Abundance and wealth can also spring from many sources, as the card suggests. Welcome abundance in your life. So as she looked around in the tower, she realized, spark passion. This is a divinatory message for you as well. Let your desires fuel your actions and inspire you to pursue your goals now. Ignite change. That is a deep lesson, and I feel that we are close to the light source of the lighthouse. The light was lit by passion. It was lit by inspiration and actions to set the fire going. Same way, when you are searching for your own light, have a think if it could be lit by passion and desires. What do you want? What do you need? What is guiding you right now? What calling from inside you is calling you home? And then she saw the lighthouse light the last time. She had climbed on the top and reached towards it. It was really bright now, and she felt that this message was the most important one in her travel to the lighthouse tonight. And the final message of the lighthouse was confidence. There are many beautiful things in this world, and I am one of them. I look for beauty in others and also find it in myself. I grow more confident every day. If you came to search your own light tonight, or today, depending on at what time you're watching this reading, embracing and elevating your own confidence is one of the keys to your own light. It is about trusting your inner light and trusting that your own desires will lead you forward, that the path will appear under your feet when you're walking, and that you will find what you're looking for, even if the road seems clouded at times. You are perfect in the way you are. Not to say that we couldn't change, but There is an inner divine fire, and when you are in alignment with it, it will shine for others to see. That is the inner light of your own lighthouse. I am the divine God force within, and all that comes to me is positiveness and power. It is my purpose and intent to flood the world with love and light. That was the first reason you came here. And finding your own inner light, your own confidence, your own beauty. That is the light at the top of your lighthouse. Looking at the whole message of this reading, you need to follow your own heart. There will be challenges on the way, but you will unlock the answers. You will need to step into unknown paths and perhaps dark rooms, but suddenly, as you do and challenge yourself, you might notice that there are radiant bursts of life and successes from your earlier attempts. Cherish these moments of awe. And the spark of passion, it could be sexual, but it might as well be something else. Let your desires fuel your actions and inspire you to pursue your goals now. Yes, following your goals with a spark of passion. That is the spark that lights your lighthouse. And finally, the light of confidence that shines through you is the light that shines through your life. This concludes our reading, group number 1. Thank you for spending this time with me at the Lighthouse. Welcome, group 2. This is the group of the guided. I am on the right path. I am guided by the divine spirit within me. When storms come, I will not be afraid. My inner light illuminates the way. Out of all of the cards that we have, I feel that this one is most closely tied to the lighthouse. It repeats the symbolism of the lighthouse both on the background and at the cards, so I had to take it as one of the main significator cards in this reading. So in this reading we are looking for guidance from divine spirit within me for future storms or for possible storms in your life right now. Let's go search your inner light. So when I was planning this reading, I was inspired by this theme of lighthouse and all the symbolism it is guiding souls in the night, being steady and security inducing. I was designing different kind of spreads around this, trying to use all the decks in the way that I wanted, but nothing really seems to fit, and I became a little bit annoyed. I was frustrated that that my creative process didn't go as I was hoping it to go, until I somehow felt that I need to do things really differently this time. The cards didn't want to be put into a structure, they wanted to be put in a story. So this reading became a story of the little girl who was visiting the big lighthouse. And this is a symbolism and a metaphor for you. This is you It might be your inner child, or it might be a reflection of you. And we'll be finding out what this lighthouse is, but the light on top of it is definitely your inner light. So we'll see in what kind of shade it will guide you. But let's start with her trip towards the lighthouse. What guidance did the little girl, or the viewer in this case, get from the sea as she was traveling her way to the lighthouse? Ooh, she was seeing the large waves that were roaring in the outer sea, since often lighthouses are far out to the sea, and she was looking at the rage of the big waves, and she got the message of release. May you lay down your burdens, meaning that whatever you have been carrying today thus far, whatever came before this reading, this is a moment to release it now. Let's see what else she saw on the way. Oh, she also saw the beautiful underwater world. The waters were very clear, and even if they were turbulent, she could see clearly to the depths, and the visibility was good. This was a moment of reveal. May openness lead you to a connection. So if you now turn to your own life and to the challenges that you have, to the situations in your life, this card suggests you to be open and trust that the others will see the right and beautiful in you, even if you are afraid to show your true colors. Life becomes so much easier when we accept our true colors. And if there are those who don't accept them, well, they don't really deserve to be close to you anyways. Let's see what kind of other advice the cards are giving. Oh, the theme of clarity continues. May you see things as they are. These two clearly tie together. The situation where you are in, it might be very cloudy, might be a situation where you don't have clarity, but you are longing for it, wanting to search for the light to guide you. And I think this is a kind of a divinatory message as well, saying that the clarity will come in time. I felt that one and that one too. Okay, lovely. Or maybe over here. I also felt that the cards wanted to move around on the table, so not to be in strict structures, but to be kind of part of this underground picture that we have. Anyways, the message is belonging. May you welcome yourself home. That's a beautiful message. Quite often we long for something. We long that we would already be somewhere. We long that the holiday would have already started. We long that we would be rich, or we long that we would already be succeeding in our careers or in our endeavors. But this card reminds you that wherever you are, make your heart at home in that place. May you welcome yourself home. The other card that we got was the card of free. May your soul sing freely. And that, I think, also ties to the revealing and to the clarity. We are free beings. We are beings that are essentially free with our deepest nature. We sometimes forget that when we are burdened with the everyday tasks and chores of our life, but inside of all those layers there is a divine freedom that can never be taken away from us. I hope that you find connection to this freedom and let it elevate you and guide you. Ooh, we have a card of alive. I kind of feel, where would it like to be? I think it wants to be here. May you delight in vitality. That's a good reminder. This is a lot of these cards that I'm using today, they are have very strong affirmations in there, and that was a conscious choice because I felt that after the quite shadowy dark mirror reading, we needed something a bit more light and a bit more softer to the heart. So the message of the sea in this card is be conscious and be reminded about the fact that you are alive. It might seem as such an everyday thing, but there will be a day when your heart doesn't beat anymore. And I say this not to frighten you, but to remind you that everything in this life is perishable. And hug your closest ones and pet your dog and kiss your beloved, knowing that this too shall pass. Both the good and the bad will pass. A couple more cards I feel from the journey towards the lighthouse, where the little girl is traveling, maybe on a boat. We'll see. I feel that one wants to come from under the sea. We'll find balance. May you find equilibrium in motion. Oh, that's a good advice, because we are often walking towards our goals. We are often studying hard, and we are often taking care of many responsibilities, and this card is a card of balance, reminding you that may you find equilibrium in your motion, just like water finds equilibrium in the motion, always churning and rarely mirror still, most often moving and waving and I'm losing the words now, but yes, resting while moving, having equilibrium of being still and then moving forward. That is important, always, but especially now for you. I said a few cards, that means that there is one more card coming, and I feel that it needs to be one with this, is it platform? I think it's platform in English. So let's see what kind of message as we are arriving to the shore. Oh, she saw beautiful pieces of broken glass. I'm sure you've been at the seashore and saw pieces of broken glass that were smoothed by the motion of the waves and the coarse grinding of the sand. You can find beautiful pieces of glass, and they are like jewels of the sea, even though they are made for something that somebody has discarded. But that again reminds us of the beauty of nature and beauty of how nature can turn something that is waste into beauty. But the message is shine. May you be a lighthouse. Yes, that's exactly the message that we are searching here as well. And that actually brings us to the next card, because the light in the lighthouse is being turned on. And we see its beam first time this night, and it comes in a form of an affirmation card. The light says, loved. All is well, and I am safe in the loving hands of the universe. I breathe in an ocean of love. I am cherished, appreciated, and adored. Let's bask in this light from the universe a little while. How often we forget with our daily chores and daily activities that how deeply meaningful it is that we are loved. Ocean of love. Wonderful. And I feel that since the night has arrived, as the lighthouse has been turned on, maybe there are some things that the stars would like to teach us, or the depths of the sea, or the intuition or imagination. And I think this card reflects that the best. So let's grab a few of these. We have the card of emergence. This is a card that speaks about the chain of generations, or perhaps chain of reincarnations. So if a soul work of reincarnation from one body to another is something that you are interested in, this is a message for you to look at that more clearly. And if reincarnation is not resonating with you, then the interpretation could be something towards seeing different versions of yourself, seeing the child you, seeing the adolescent you, the teenager you, and now as you are emerging from the age that you are now, how they are all connected, and how each phase of life taught you things, and what are the messages of these phases of life. We got another card, so let's have a look of that. Dream gate. Oh, all right. So I said that the sun was setting at the lighthouse. So the night comes with dreams and with dream gates, and this is a card that guides you towards dream work. Dreams are our subconscious messages, and we can learn many things from them if we truly pay attention to them. Now I feel it is time for the lighthouse beam to turn again towards us. So I felt that it was that card. And the light is saying abundance. Good things flow easily and from everywhere. I am grateful for all the abundance coming my way. Life supports me. Love surrounds me. Let's stay in this light. Let's bask in this knowing for a while. And let's accept the message of abundance to our life. But we have been traveling the journey of the little girl during this reading, and I feel that when she arrived to this shore, she saw many things before she was able to reach the lighthouse. So let's see what kind of things she found from the shore and from the rocks and from the lower parts of the lighthouse before we reach the final card and the light at the top. And for those we will use the deep dive oracle cards. These are slightly more oracular, meaning that you might get divinatory messages from these. That's okay, we'll welcome them. Of course, not just affirmations, but also messages from your higher self and from your guides, whichever way you want to see or call them. She saw unified flames. Connections with others amplify your light and lead to greater achievements. That is a more divinatory message. It speaks about collaboration and also perhaps maybe of twin flames, although I'm very careful of using those words, but it speaks that the relationships in your life are currently in a very important role and continue to be. And not just in a very mundane matter, but also it says amplify your light and lead to greater achievements. Collaborating for achievements and for results is of course natural, but also amplifying your light would mean that you'd gain spiritual insights or other messages or lessons working in collaboration with others. Have a think of it. All right, so the sun has definitely now set and also the moon has risen, and the moon brings a message of finding closure. Celebrate achievements, acknowledge growth, and release any baggage. Fulfilled intention. Okay, this is a good oracular message to remind you to close doors after you. We often move on in life so that we just pick up the next project and the next project after one project has ended. And this card is a reminder for you to really stop and celebrate your achievements and acknowledging your own growth and development. It's important because those are the moments where your soul rests and all the hard work that you have been putting in is rewarded. So they are immensely important. That one seems to be wanting to come. Oh, all right. So she found not just the shining stones, but also sometimes you find beautiful, colorful feathers at the seashore. So these feathers shine in the colors of the spirit colors. Express your uniqueness and the dynamic energy you bring to the world. Yes, we are all unique and beautiful, and we are all divine in our own way. And these colors remind us that to be our genuine, authentic self, we must let our colors be seen in our own way and in our own time when we are ready. But when we do, we'll know that when everything starts to resonate, you know that you are on the right path and you are showing your true colors. It feels light and right and beautiful. Let's have one more card before she reaches the top of the lighthouse, and we'll pull the final message and affirmation for the day. Oh, okay. So on the beach, perhaps somewhere over here, At the base of the lighthouse, there is a secret refuge. Reconnect with your core and be ready to emerge with renewed clarity. Protected space. Okay, so the message of this is that we need our space of recovery. We need our places that are quiet and places that are safe and for us, where we can be ourselves and where we can rest and recover. That is very important, and that needs to be honored. So that is definitely a spirit message for you. But now I feel that she has reached the top of the lighthouse, and we will pull one more card to conclude your reading, to see what kind of message, a parting gift, she will get from the lighthouse. And where will she find her own inner light on this journey of guidance? Gratitude. May day begin and end in gratitude. My day begins and ends in gratitude. I am grateful for the good that comes to me. I am connected to an unlimited source of abundance and love. Group 2, that is the main message for you. Your light, your guidance raises from gratitude to be thankful, to be mindful of the things like being alive, having your colors shining, having the places where we can go and retreat, having been walked into the spirit paths that we have walked, having gratitude of all those moments and of this moment. That is the light that the lighthouse gives you as your guidance from this point onward. This concludes our reading, group number 2. Thank you for coming to this reading, and leave a like if you like. Welcome, group 3. This is the group of the dance. I love life and it supports me in every possible way. My day begins and ends with gratitude and joy. I always find reasons to dance. Let's go and find your joy to dance. When I was planning this reading, I was inspired by this picture of a lighthouse and of the girl. Oh, we have compassion wanted to come immediately. Let's get back to that soon. But let's get to the story first. So, a lighthouse and a little girl looking at it. And I had all these sea-themed cards with these wonderful thematic connections to waves and depths and ocean as a symbolic of human unconsciousness. And I was trying to create a spread where all these beautiful cards would have their places, past, present, future, subconscious, shadow, higher self, and all that. And nothing really seemed to fit. I wasn't able to create a structure where the cards would want to come out. And I was starting to get a little bit frustrated with my creative process of creating readings. And it was at that moment I decided to sit down and to step back and to let my own intuition guide how the cards would like to be presented. And the cards answered, we would like to be presented in a story of the little girl who is doing a journey to the lighthouse. And from there we now begin. Because the first thing that she sees when she is traveling, perhaps by boat, to the lighthouse is the seashore, and this reminds her of compassion. May you tend to the suffering. Is it suffering of somebody else, suffering of ones closest to you? Is it universal ones? We all need that balm to the suffering, and we all deserve it. We all deserve our suffering to be seen and to be mirrored back to us. Compassion is a gift. It is a deep gift that we are all deserving, and you are too. That is the very first lesson that I think that needs to be somewhere over there. You see, these cards wanted to become part of the scenery as well. So that's why. But as she is traveling to the lighthouse, being lulled by the waves in the boat, she sees many things. And one of the things that teaches her is the lightness of the air and of her heart. May the light lift you to the surface. That's what we are dancing with. We are searching your own light when we are searching your own inner joy and your lightheartedness, to return it back and to let your inner child, visible now in several places already in this reading, although we have just begun, to let her be glad and to be expressive as she wants to be. And this is a blessing for you as well, not just a guiding card, but a blessing for the future. May the light lift you to the surface. If you have been feeling down, if you have been feeling tired, if it has been cloudy or challenging, this is your promise of better times, or at least a promise that with your own attitude, life can be fixed even if certain circumstances in your life might be permanent. Let's see what kind of other messages she sees on her way to the lighthouse. Oh, by looking at the waves and the stones that are soothed and also grinded by the waves, she learns a message of persisting. May your ripples build the swell. Let's see what else. I think that card wants to come. Ooh, receive. Okay, lovely. This one is more here. You see that? May you know you are worthy of the gift. Yes, this is a good reminder, because we are often thinking that, oh, we are just your regular guy and nothing special, and sometimes our inner critic might even be harsher and tell that we don't deserve anything really. But this is a good reminder that we are all worthy, all equal, and all worthy of receiving, as the card is suggesting you. Okay, and then as she looks at the waves at the sea, she realizes that letting things happen is one of the keys in the situation. Allow. May you soften into what is. Life can be pretty hard. There are many things that can come on your life's paths, and it will definitely include both ups and downs, but having an attitude of non-attachment and allowing life to unfold at the way it wants. This is softening message for you to allow your inner joy to come out. When we don't try to change things so much, but rather allow things to unfold, that is when we are released of expectations and therefore of suffering as well. Maybe a few more cards from the journey towards the lighthouse. What else did she see that she would like to teach us about? Three cards wanted to come. We have forgive. May you let it be. If there are things that you would like to forgive and forget, this is a reminder to do that work or that decision. Not everything can or must be forgiven though. There are things where you are doing yourself a justice if you hold a memory and hold unforgiveness. That must also be respected. But then there are other things where forgiving really releases your energy. And that's a reminder of that. Then we have a card of freedom, and with the words, may your soul sing freely. And that's lovely. That has to do with the dancing and all the joyful acts of expressing yourself freely and listening to the music and letting yourself burst into this inner dance and movement. Yes, well, welcome it. Welcome the freedom that is flowing into your life. And then as the little girl is traveling with her boat, she leans over the boat's edge and looks at the water and sees how very clear it is, and that brings her a message of reveal. May openness lead to your connection, reminding us that being true to ourselves and letting that shine releases our divine light to be seen. Now I feel that she has arrived to the lighthouse, and according to the story, now is the moment when the night is starting to fall, and with that the lighthouse is turned on, and we will see the very first beam as it starts to light the night and guide the souls and the boats. And this light is represented by affirmation cards to give you a message of guidance, of reminding, and of positivity to help you on your journey. That one wanted to come. Magnificent. My future is glorious. I am surrounded by beauty and joy. I release the past. I am grateful for the present magic moment. I am magnificent. That is a guiding light for you and your life. Oftentimes when we hear affirmations, we might feel like, oh, that's too positive, or that's too, I just wish it would be true. And our inner critic might be saying other things like, oh, I'm not magnificent, or I'm not glorious, that's too strong of a word for me. But there is a reason why affirmations are so powerful and so positive, because repeating and hearing them over and over again, it starts to soften the inner critic who says that, oh, I'm not magnificent. You are. We are. We all are. I am. You are. We are all magnificent in our own way, and all glorious, and our future is beautiful and abundant. Let's bask in that light that shines from the top of the lighthouse and take this message of light to our life. Next, I feel that the little girl is making her way towards the lighthouse, and we'll see what kind of things she sees at the shore. and they are represented by these deep dive oracle cards. These are also a bit more divinatory in nature, since these have been very affirmation-like cards, the other cards like this, so or the other cards in the reading so far, but these ones are a bit more oracular. So let's see what kind of messages she gets, and with that we get from the oracle cards. Unlock answers. Challenges that obscure your path hold potential and real breakthroughs. Yes, that is important reminder. The same card came for the group number 1, so there might be a message for you as well if you have been considering between this group and the first group. But I feel that the message is similar, meaning that often we think of the challenges and difficulties in our life only as like negative challenges, as something to be overcome or something to be worked at or get fixed. But in reality, many of those challenges are to teach and to grow it. We only see it years later that, oh, that difficult period actually taught me a lot about gratitude, or taught me a lot about myself, but I couldn't know it at the time. So keep this key of the challenges being keys to unlock answers and reveal insights. Keep this idea with you as you go forth. That is a message from your higher self, or spirit guide, or divinity, if you want to call it like that. That is the message, the spirit message for you. Let's see what else she finds. Oh, that one wanted to come. Oh, she finds a seashell, and this seashell has ancient echoes in it. Honor insights gained with experience, and hear the truths resonate within you. Timeless wisdom. Okay, so this is wisdom of your own soul. You might be very old soul yourself, but in either case you've accumulated life experience, and this card is to honor that one. But perhaps also to honor the elders of our life. Maybe you have an elder relative that you trust and honor, but if not, there are wonderful, wise elder people in life that teach, that hold TED Talks and offer guidance and share their wisdom if you are willing to listen. So if you feel called to, maybe dig up a YouTube talk by one of these people, or one of the people that you feel are these old and experienced people, and have a listen to it. Okay, so then we found a vision of dark wisdom. The little girl, maybe while she was walking on the seashore, she saw a black raven in the nearby trees, and the raven is whispering that find strength and clarity in solitude, and trust the value of insight you gain. Yes, there are moments where we need solitude in order for things to clear up, and that solitude would also renew us, replenish us, and therefore return the strength to you. This card also reminded me of the recent dark mirror reading. I'll link it to this point of the video. Because I think that dark wisdom keywords could point that there is something for you in that reading. That is like the opposite of this reading, meaning that it is very structured and it's very ritualistic and it's very shadowy. There's shadow work periods of it. So maybe it's your cup of tea. If it is, go and check it out. If not, then no worries. Follow your inner knowing when it comes to this suggestion. Let's see what else she finds from the seashore. She'll find flowers, and these are not just any flowers, they are, we call them unikko in Finnish. I will put the translation at the screen for you. But the message of the card is honor memories. Let remembering comfort you, knowing reflection can bring healing and closure, finding solace. Okay, so this is to complete and do work with your inner child in order to feel balanced with the events of your life and honoring them, whether they were positive or whether they were challenging, to approach them and to let emotions be expressed that honor those events. Perhaps at that time of your life you couldn't process all the emotions that were connected to the event, so going back to them and honoring them is important. That can bring forth healing and closure. But also honoring the good memories, of course, the wonderful moments of our childhood, and with gratitude. Now I feel that she is approaching the lighthouse, and when she looks up, she sees the light again, and we'll see the second message of the lighthouse for tonight. Confidence. There are many beautiful things in this world, and I am one of them. I look for beauty in others and also find it in myself. I grow more confident every day. Yes, that is so true. You are one of the beautiful things in this world, and never forget that. We may not always feel beautiful, and we might not always feel appreciated, but that's even more reason for us to do that for ourselves. Let us grow more confident in the light of the lighthouse with her. And now, as the night has fallen, and I think she is already climbing up towards the lighthouse, to the light at the top of the lighthouse, I feel that it is time to draw some more mystical oceanic cards. So let's pull out from this deck and see what kind of messages we can get. I feel that one wanted to come, and that one. All right. As a bit more intuitive and spiritual messages, the cards are guiding you to pay attention to your dreams. Dreams offer guidance, and sometimes in your dreams you can release fears and process things and find answers that you couldn't when you are awake. So pay especially good. Oh, I got a download, so I guess I need to share it with you then. There is a very common herb that is currently on flower, at least here in Europe where I am. And it's this plant. I don't know its English name, but I will show it in the screen right now. And this is very safe plant that can be used for tea. So just pick it up and you can use it as a tea when it's fresh or when it's dried. And the white variety has dream enhancing qualities, meaning that if you drink that before you go to bed, your dreams will be more vivid. And I didn't believe this when I heard it the first time, but then I tried it because it's also a herb that is good for your health. So there's and as long as you follow the protocol of introducing new herbs to your life, meaning that you start with small amounts and so forth, it was safe to try. So this is not a medical advice, of course, but if you're interested, maybe have a look of this herb and of its effects when it's drunk as tea. So maybe that's a curious advice for you, and that was something that I felt that need to be shared at this point. So yes, try that tea if it suits you. If not, then no matter. And of course, always, if you need, follow your physician's advice if you have allergies or so forth when trying new things. But it's generally quite safe herb, so I think you should be fine. But then back to the reading. The second card was Nurture Yourself, and that is that ties to being present and free and allowing things to happen and being able to receive rest and receive rejuvenation. Nurture Yourself card, basically, the name says it. It means that come back to yourself, come back to the things that nurture you, come back to the things that bring you peace and bring you rejuvenation, whatever they are for you, whether it's a bath with candles or whether it's checking your diet that it follows clean eating standards, or whether Nurture Yourself means getting good night rests. Have a think of what it could be for you at this moment, and the advice of the card is to make space and reserve resources for that nurturing for you. And now I feel that she is getting to the top of the lighthouse, and we'll see with her the beam of light for the last time for this reading, and that is the main message of this reading to you. So let's have a look of where you could find your inner light. Potential. I have unlimited potential and the courage to make things happen. I believe in myself and my abilities. Even though challenges may arise, I will face them with strength. Nothing can stop me. Oh, that's a lovely message, and pairs nicely with your starting card. The dance was very gentle and very soft. So we end with a more stronger card of potential and courage. So I believe that after you have rested and nurtured yourself, you have received what you need to receive. Perhaps heard advices from the elders, and maybe dealt with some difficulties or other moments like that, done some shadow work maybe. then the cards are guiding you to reach out for your potential, to just challenge yourself in a positive way, to become something greater than you are today, to create something meaningful, to boldly take the next steps that you need to take, and knowing that you are blessed when you are doing this work, receiving guidance and support from your spirit guides, and with persistence and compassion towards yourself. I wish you the best success in your processes. This concludes our reading, group number 3. Thank you for spending this time at the Lighthouse with me. If this brought you comfort or clarity, I'd be grateful if you'd like and subscribe. It brings visibility to the channel and helps this light reach others who may like it. You might also enjoy the Ocean Oracle readings. It's another gentle message carried by the tides. They are utterly beautiful, soft readings with soothing, calming nature vibes. I'll leave it here in the end as a suggestion for you to discover. Until next time, may you walk in hope and may your inner light lead you home.